Hey guys, Chris here again with another day of trading here, and we're back after a long weekend. And overall, the market today was it was kind of choppy today. It wasn't the best. Not a great day as far as the market went. Looked at my scanners this morning, so I'm going to go through all the different things. I'm going to show my scanners, the trades I did. I actually traded 3 different stocks a day, did 9 trades in total. Was red on 2 of the stocks and green on 1, so that's good. Made it back to evens today. Didn't have a big gainer today or anything like that, but gained 60 cents today. Woohoo! Not a big amount, but I'm grateful for anything. I was actually down $28 at one point today and went back to green, and basically dug out of my hole, but it was fun doing it, and learned a lot and figured out that there was a couple stocks that were just pretty tough to deal with in general. But let's get into that. Just to look at scanners this morning, I pulled up my scanners and I saw this. Not too impressive. SIFY was at 90 some cents at 7:01 this morning, and 174%, which was great, but it just really was a kind of a grindy stock. It was up 143 was up 43 million shares in the float. So this was definitely not going to be something that was going to move really fast. APTO, again, low price stock, not 40% change, almost 6 million, but 18 million shares, just kind of cheap. And the problem with these cheaper stocks are they do typically charge more fees on these kinds of stocks. So typically, you have to check with your own broker. I don't like to trade them for that basic reason. So then that brought me down to MSGM, which, wasn't like a huge gainer, but it was moving at least. The float was low. The volume was not as good, obviously. Obviously sometimes some of these stocks, the volume, like these penny stocks, can have huge amounts of volume. But when you start getting up into these kinds of stocks, the ones that I'm looking for, 3 million, I mean, it's not terrible, but it was still moving nonetheless. So also, a little bit later on, AUUDD came into the picture. It wasn't on this particular shot right here, but it did start to move up later on after I took this snapshot of the market. So let's get into it. AUUD was the first trade I took right at the opening bell. So I woke up, I got up, I was sitting there at my computer at 7 o'clock. Nothing was moving. I traded to about 7:30, 7:35, somewhere in there. I didn't make one single trade in that time. Nothing was moving at that point. I just think that the market, coming after a long weekend like this, a lot of people just are taking a vacation, or they're just getting back. They don't want to do anything. So I don't know if the market was just down today as far as people participating in the market, but there wasn't a lot moving. So we had to just do what we could with what we had. So that's what we did. So the first trade I took right here, AUUD, it started to curl up right here, and it got above this $1.53 mark, which was its high, and I felt like this had a potential to keep going. Took a trade on it, and boom, it started to fail. Stopped out for an $8 loss on this particular trade. So I was pretty much like this stock was starting to push lower, so I decided to move on to other stocks at that point. All right, the next stock that I traded was right on BOF. This stock, it had some breaking news on it. I can't remember what it was. Therapeutics mix on Wall Street Fuller AP. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what it was on this particular stock. There was some news on it. So couldn't really tell you specifically what. But see, 939, I took this first trade on it. And I felt like this was coming above. Again, this line right here was what I was looking at. It punched up, it came up, it started to hold, and then I held it, and then it felt like it was dipping back down, and then it regained. And I had already stopped out. So then right at 940, I decided to take another trade on this, and then it started to pop up again, fell back down, and I think I made a little bit of mistake here. I should have just held on to this and in all, since I was already in the trade, should have just held a little bit longer, and it would have popped up just a little bit. It wouldn't have been a huge gain, but it would have been like another 7 or 8 cents per share possibly on the trade, and I would have actually been green on the trade and not red. So it was a little bit of a mistake I found myself in right there. But overall, I think we stopped out with some smaller losses. I think in total, when I look at my losses here, let's see, $14 loss, $7 loss, and an $8 loss. So minimal losses, but if I'd have just held it, it would have probably been profitable, at least a few bucks at least, and I wouldn't have had to do with all the losses that I ended up getting. And that kind of pushed me down in about, I want to say $18 or $20 where I was down at that point. And I was kind of like, well, maybe this is it for me today. And so when BOF kind of I got through that, I was like, well, maybe do I keep trading this or do I go find something else? Because at this point it was kind of going sideways right here, and I decided to look at a few different stocks here, and that's when I got into CNFR. So let's go ahead and we'll jump to that. Now CNFR, I think totally, oh shoot, lost my thing here. So CNFR, I believe where I got in on that one at, let's see here, let's jump back here. Let's see here, CNFR, I don't think I have that up on my thing. CNFR. Yeah. So I got in on that one right in here, but I had a loss. Yeah, right in here is where I was at, 143. Took a trade on that and boom, dropped out big. So that pushed me down. I think after those two trades pushed me down to right around $28. I think I had one that broke even, but I had one I lost, I believe, 14 cents on. No, that was with BOF, but I lost $6 on that one. So that was a tough loss on that one. And then let's see, what was the last one here? I traded back to BOF. So again, BOF, got back in on that one up in here again, but I believe I was right in this area here. Took another loss on it. I didn't hold these real long. I was thinking it was going to go real, but I had a couple, I had this pullback right in here, and then I held for this candle right in here. Ended up making a nice little $25 on that particular trade, and then did a second trade and made another additional $7.60. And I thought, well, we're doing good. And then I believe at that point we were up in this point here where this thing had started to push up. And then I got in right at the top of this candle and it flushed down $3. And I stopped out with a $3 loss on that one roughly. So I ended up making a total of 60 cents today. Not a huge day, just one of those grinding stock days where I felt like this stock was real kind of thickly traded. It was a lot of people selling, a lot of people buying, and just was hard to get in and out. So it wasn't my favorite. But I tried to play. When I was trading today, I was trying to focus on the level 2 specifically because it was one of those days that you really needed to focus. If you were trading this, day trading this, you really needed to focus on your level 2 and make sure that you didn't get caught up with a big flush or something like that. I didn't see a lot of big flushes today. I mean, right at the top of this, when we got to the top of this, I mean, yes, it flushed down here and it pretty much held most of the day. And then once it got into, I would say, the later part of the day, it kind of did dip below VWAP, but it did finish fairly strong. I don't know if I really consider this for a continuation scanner. I think it's going to be really choppy. Being on the first day was choppy. I think it's going to be really choppy the next day. So I don't think I'm really going to look at this one much tomorrow if it does come back up again. You never know. So just going to give it the due diligence and just kind of look at it and make sure that it's a stock that's going to be worthy of the time. Hopefully more people will be in the market tomorrow and we can get something a little better out of it. So overall, looking at my metrics here today, so I made 9 trades, as you can tell. 3 green trades, 6 red trades. That put me at about a 1-to-1 ratio because I broke even today. And then as far as trading, just as far as the day goes, green trades, Average green is $10.87. Average red is $5.33. So I was at a 2-to-1 if you averaged it. I don't know if that's always a good idea to do it that way. But nonetheless, a green day overall, so a good start to the month. It's not a great day by any means, but you know, it's a day. So we're green. The down part to it is that our trade win ratio or percentage was 33%. So not good there. We want to get that up definitely over the next few weeks here and get that into that about 50-60% range. And then we can calculate our score at the end of the month. And hopefully we'll be at about a 10 on our trifecta. I'm going to discuss a little more about that in coming up here closer towards the end of the month, just to tell you how I'm going about the process of figuring out when I will be ready to trade an actual money account. And right now, overall, I am not. I mean, when I calculate my score, there's a few things I look at, but like last month, I want to get to a 10. So last month I was a 6. In July, I was a 7. And then in the month before that, June, I was 2. And I think in May, I was a 9. 9 was about the best I ever had overall. September here, I mean, we don't know where we're at yet because, you know, it takes a couple of things to look at. You know, you got to compare how many weeks you were green and different things like that. So I'm going to talk more about that later in the month here. But for right now, I'm just trying to trade. I wasn't even trying to trade a specific position. I was just trying to trade and have green trades. Press the buy button, press the sell button, and just see where I end up. And overall, I mean, I broke even pretty much for the day. I would actually be a little red because of the fees, the transfer fees and stuff like that across the NASDAQ and stuff. There's small fees that you have to pay for that. You know, it's not completely free or by any means, but overall, you know, I can't complain. We got to start for the month. We're moving. You know, we're green, so we're good. So if you'd like to follow along again, you can do that by going over to my channel right here, Trading with Chris, and you can start to follow along. Check out all the videos I've been putting out, up to like 27 videos now. So just putting out my videos daily of the trades I'm taking. Sometimes I put a video out on the weekend just discussing different things like my reviews or things like who my mentor is. If you'd like to learn more about that stuff, you can definitely sign up for the channel, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications, and follow along as I learn to day trade.